She with you?
I thought she was with you.
Wait. Say that again?
I thought she was with you.
We're going to need to have a talk about Batman's voice today. The voice of Batman is arguably one of his most iconic and important features. When people think of Batman, they think of how he talks almost as much as they do how he looks and what car he drives. He's one of the only superheroes where it's been acknowledged that he has a different voice from that of his alter ego, Bruce Wayne, and this is acknowledged by DC Comics and the general public. Superman sounds exactly like Clark Kent, Peter Parker sounds exactly like Spider-Man, but Batman and Bruce Wayne sound totally different. But it wasn't always like this. When Batman was first introduced in the comics, there was no indication that Bruce Wayne and Batman had two distinct voices. And when the character was adapted from page to screen, whether it be live action or animated, the adaptations followed suit. The first actor to portray Batman in live action was Lewis Wilson in 1943. And in this adaptation, he used his natural voice for the character. He didn't change it.
Now that's all right, Alfred. Snap into it. They may be here any time.
Oh, yeah. But it's only 9 o'clock, sir.
I know, but they might be here ahead of time to catch us napping. Get ready to do your stuff.
This became the trend for pretty much every single Batman adaptation following this serial. The actor playing Batman would use his natural voice for both Batman and Bruce Wayne. The only actor during this time to change how he sounds when he puts on the mask is actually Adam West. His Batman put more emphasis on certain words than his Bruce Wayne did. It's subtle, but it's there. The best example of this I can find is this clip where Bruce Wayne has a phone conversation with Batman. Seriously. The idea of the Batman voice as we think of it today didn't really come until Batman 1989, where Michael Keaton was the first actor to use a very distinct voice for Batman that was different from his Bruce Wayne voice.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
And it was a move that made sense. Batman has a very distinct and different personality than that of Bruce Wayne. It wouldn't make sense for a grim avenger of the night to sound like a billionaire playboy. This idea was taken much further in Batman the Animated Series when Kevin Conroy was cast as Batman. His Batman voice sounded like the character's natural voice, and his Bruce Wayne voice sounded like an act.
Appreciate the help, Doc. I'll return the favor next time you're raising funds. Bye-bye.
This computer checked that fiber against every animal species known to man.
Whenever he was by himself or with Alfred or Robin, whether he was in mask or not, the deep, serious tone of voice was his default voice, and the more flamboyant sounding voice is what he used for the public as Bruce Wayne. There are many reasons why people will tell you Kevin Conroy is the best Batman voice, and one of those reasons is his deep understanding that Batman and Bruce Wayne are two separate people in one body. And pretty much every single actor since then has had their own separate and distinct voices for Bruce Wayne and Batman, with the exception of Clooney, but that was the least of that movie's problems. But a funny thing happened in 2005 when Christian Bale became the new Batman, and his voice kind of took on a life of its own.
Where's the trigger? Where is it? You never give it to an ordinary citizen.
We've all heard Christian Bale's Batman voice. We've all done our impressions of it, and we all have our own theories as to why it sounds the way it sounds. But here's the thing. This is Christian Bale's actual Batman voice.
Swear to me.
And this is what they used in the final mix of the film.
Swear to me!
They augmented his voice in post-production to give it a rougher and grittier tone, and the result is a Batman that doesn't rely on his own abilities to mask his voice. The idea that Batman would use technology to mask his own voice eventually made its way into some of the comics, and surprisingly enough, it influenced other live-action adaptations of other heroes like Green Arrow. On both Smallville and Arrow, Oliver Queen uses a voice changer to mask his identity, and the two shows go about it in very different ways. On Smallville, it's more of a light augmentation, whereas on Arrow, they go all in. For the sake of comparison, here's how he sounds on Smallville.
You got 10 minutes to clear your people out of here before I blow this place off the map.
Here's how he sounds on Arrow.
Sorry. You had to get off at an earlier stop.
And here's how he sounded on Justice League as played by Ken Schreiner.
Would you run out of alien menaces to beat on? You got a hornet on my turf?
Which brings us to Batman v Superman and Batfleck's voice.
You're gonna go to war. That son of a bitch brought the war to us.
When the first trailer debuted and Batman asked Superman, "Do you bleed?" I thought, what I'm sure a lot of you all thought, that this robotic sounding voice was just going to be reserved for the end when Batman's in his robot armor. I know it's not really robot armor, but stick with me for a minute. Turns out, That's it. That's the Batman voice. In Batman vs. Superman, he's going to sound like an evil computer from an 80s movie. And I'm just going to say it. This super augmented voice just sounds wrong. It doesn't sound like Batman or any hero for that matter. Robert Downey Jr. still sounds like Robert Downey Jr. when he's Iron Man. They just tweak his voice slightly to give it a more electronic sound. Here, they completely change the way Ben Affleck sounds, and it sounds like Ben Affleck is trying to do his own Batman voice underneath this new filter. At least Christian Bale's Batman voice sounded like something a human being could do. It was just a cartoonish idea to use that voice in a series lauded for its gritty realism. Now, I don't blame the actor for this. They can't really control what happens to their voice in post-production. This is an idea that rests solely in the hands of the directors and the creative minds behind not only this movie, but other superhero movies who do the same thing. Please stop this. You don't need to create an in-universe reason for this, especially when other characters in the same movie don't change their voices between alter ego and superhero persona. Let the actor act. Let them come up with their own natural voice for Bruce Wayne and Batman without having to resort to technology. Yeah, Batman may use a lot of technology, but not for his voice. His voice should be molded by 20 years of pain and angst. I mean, Kevin Conroy has been voicing Batman consistently since 1992, and he's done it without technological aid. That's him just doing it naturally. There's a reason why they keep asking this guy back. I hope Warner Brothers sees the error of their ways and fixes this before the movie comes out. They did it with Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. They can do it with this. All they really have to do is just remove the audio filter. I'd much rather hear Batman sound like the proprietor of fashionable male than he does Megatron, but that's just me. What do you guys think about Ben Affleck's Batman voice? Do you think it sounds a little bit too robotic? Let me know down below or anywhere on the internet. What are some of your favorite Batman voices? I personally like Bruce Greenwood's take in Batman Under the Red Hood and the Young Justice cartoon. He's probably the second best Batman in animation. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like if you like, subscribe if you really like, share this video with a friend. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. That was my Christian Bale voice. You knew it was coming. But I don't want to talk about movies I haven't seen yet. What I want to talk about is how both Marvel and DC are releasing big budget movies next year about their top characters beating the snot out of each other. Because apparently, we want to see our heroes fight other heroes and not bad guys.
Like, I completely understand where they're coming from. It would cause a lot of controversy if they brought that game here because it would be really hard to market.
Yeah.
Because if somebody saw a commercial for that on TV, they'd be like, what is this? This sucks. I hate this, you know?